Stop scrolling if you're thinking about buying a home in St. Charles County right now, because there are three different ways that buyers are quietly overpaying in 2026. And most agents won't say this out loud. If you're a military veteran, law enforcement, medical professional, or a teacher, you especially need to hear this. I'm not here to create fear. I'm here to create clarity, because overpaying doesn't usually happen from stupidity. It happens from pressure. It happens from confusion. It happens from moving too fast in a market that requires strategy. Today, I'm going to walk through the three biggest overpaying traps I'm seeing right now and exactly how to avoid them. If we haven't met yet, I'm Chris with Valor Homes at eXp Realty here in St. Charles, Missouri. I work primarily with veterans, first responders, medical professionals, and teachers. People who work hard, people who don't have time to waste, people who want to make smart, stable decisions. And here's the truth. You don't need hype. You need competence. So let's get into it. Here's the first mistake buyers are making. They're assuming every house still has a bidding war going on. That was 2021, 2022. That is not what the data is showing right now in so many parts of St. Charles County. We're seeing properties sit longer. We're seeing price reductions. We're seeing sellers testing the market. But buyers are still walking in emotionally prepared to overpay. And that's where the trouble starts. Just because a house is listed at $415,000 doesn't mean it's worth $415,000. List price is a marketing number. Market value is a data number. And if you don't separate those two, you can overpay by $10,000, $25,000 without even realizing it. What's actually happening? Some sellers are pricing based on peak 2022 comps. Zillow optimism, what their neighbor told them. But today's buyer pool is different. Interest rates are different. Demand patterns are different. And if a house has been sitting for 28 or 35 days, that tells a story. It tells you the market has spoken, buyers don't agree with the price, there may be room for negotiations. But if you walk in assuming we need to offer over ask immediately, you just volunteered to lose leverage. How do heroes, first responders, veterans, and all that, teachers, how do they avoid this trap? You look at the original list price, the days on market, price reductions, comparable sales within the last 90 days, active competition, and then you make a decision based on the data, not adrenaline, not pressure, not fear. You don't rush into a 30-year decision based on a 30-day headline. That's trap number one. This one is subtle, and it's emotional. You hear rates might go up, rates might drop. Now's your last chance. Wait it out. And what happens? Buyers panic. They either rush into the wrong house or freeze and miss solid opportunities. Here's the calm truth. Interest rates matter, but they do not justify buying the wrong property. I've seen buyers stretch financially just to beat the rate. I've seen buyers ignore inspection issues just because they think prices are going to skyrocket tomorrow. That's not strategy, that's stress. Let me give you some perspective. If you buy the right house at the right price, you can refinance. If you buy the wrong house at the wrong price, you're stuck. Rates are temporary. Regret lasts longer. And I say that as someone who has seen families feel that regret. Smart rate strategy looks like this. Buy based on monthly comfort, not rate panic. Focus on long-term affordability. Structure your offer cleanly. Negotiate seller concessions when possible. Keep your emergency reserves intact. You don't sacrifice stability to win a headline, especially if you're supporting a family, especially if you're serving shift work, especially if your income structure isn't built for volatility. Heroes don't gamble, they prepare. Now we're going to talk about something that's hit home for a lot of you, VA loans. First, let me say this clearly. You should not be punished for using a benefit that you've earned, period. But here's where I see overpaying happen a lot more often. Not because VA is weak, but because the offer isn't structured properly. Some agents treat VA offers like they're fragile. They rush to sweeten the deal by overpaying over the list unnecessarily, waiving smart protections, ignoring appraisal strategy. And that can cost you thousands of dollars. VA loans are not weak. They're structured. And when they're written properly, they compete. Here's what actually wins with the VA. Clean contract terms, realistic appraisal alignment, strong communication with listing agent, educating the other side, showing strength without desperation, overpaying because you're afraid your VA offer won't win. That's fear-driven. We replace fear with structure. I've helped VA buyers win without overpaying. Not every time, but strategically. Because it's not about shouting louder, it's about writing cleaner. Let me say something important. I've seen good families overpay because no one slowed the process down for them. They weren't reckless, they weren't careless, they just didn't have someone protecting the pace. My job is not to sell you a house. My job is to protect you from regret. If that means we walk away, then we walk. If that means we negotiate harder, we negotiate harder. If that means we wait, then we wait. Because stability matters more than speed. And that's especially true for the people that I serve. I have a practical checklist. Here's the quick checklist before we make an offer in 2026. How long has it actually been on the market? Has the price been reduced? What did similar homes in the area close at? Not what they listed at. Are we negotiating or are we reacting? Does the monthly payment still feel safe 6 months from now? If you can't confidently answer those 5 questions, you need to slow down. Clarity beats urgency every time. If you've lost an offer before or feel like you have overpaid in the past, comment lost below. I read every comment. And if this is helpful, share it with someone who's house hunting right now. If you want my 2026 buyer strategy guide for St. Charles County, text the word guide to 636-251-3614. That's guide to 636-251-3614. It walks you through offer structure, negotiation leverage, inspection strategy, VA clarity, budget protection framework. If you want to talk through your specific situation directly, you can call or text me anytime at 636-251-9025. No pressure, no hype, just clarity, because the goal isn't just to buy a house. The goal is to buy it right. See you in the next video.